Huh?
You're still out there.
I'm still not here.
Oh,
I don't know.
have you stopped your video by chance?
We're back.
We are back, but I am without video, and it's like my screen just decided, or the thing just decided that I don't even have a web camera right now.
Now you know how it feels.
Zoom is doing some crazy stuff lately. I mean, I lost audio one day. I lost the entire picture. You guys could see me, but I couldn't see anything at one time. So I don't know. I really don't.
Maybe they're trying to induce you to get a subscription. They only do this to the free guys.
Oh,
RC Cola and a moon pie? No, it's a
No,
Coke.
no, it's actually a Coca-Cola. But do we get any sponsor credits for doing this? Like,
Okay.
you gonna give us any money for advertising? Not until we get like 1,000 members, right?
something like that.
Okay, here's the deal, Ray. My wife bought me a little model kit, laser cut out of multi-ply plywood. And I'm going to show you a picture of one of these laser cuts. But I have a syringe needle poking through. The syringe needle is 0.012 inches. And I had to force it through the opening. My question is, what type of laser is capable of doing this type of work? Here goes.
My laser.
Okay, can you see
How thick's
that?
the wood? How thick is the wood? I can't see
About
any
a
of it.
quarter of an inch.
Yeah, my lasers will do that.
Okay, and you
It's a
can see here,
CO2.
this is the other side of that piece, and in order to get that thin syringe needle through there, you can see the other side of the body, it has pushed that piece over. So it's got to be a cut that is finer than 0.012 inches.
Yeah, any one of my lasers will do that. And being that it's a quarter of an inch thick, well, it's wood, probably 3-ply, 5-ply, quarter inch. It's probably going to be a 60 watt with like an RF laser is definitely going to be able to cut better. It'll have a narrower curve, but any one of my CO2s should be able to do this.
Okay. Well, I was just really impressed because they are such delicate cuts. And
well, hey, if you come over here, I'll show you sometime what a good laser. Now, I do see something I think is crap. When you look at some of the numbering that's on there, it looks like there's bridges on some of the numbers. So if you scroll out and then look to the left, there was, where was it? Maybe it's just the font. It's like on 120, the O, it's like it has a bridge in it so that it didn't, 108, 120, 110, 103, 107. If you look at the O, it's like the font is set up to where it's not supposed to cut through. You know, it's like
you're probably correct because the numbers do in fact go all the way through. So if we're looking here at one side, if I flip it to the other side, you can see that the numbers are reversed.
Okay.
And that's because they are cut all the way through. And here's an example of what you're talking about. They have gone ahead and cut that.
68, yeah.
So 90, 98, and they've left the, or 68 rather, because it's in
86.
So, all right.
86.
So this isn't anything special, even though it looks quite special to me.
No. Get that from Elena. You have a card? Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that is going to be a 60-watt laser, and it's probably got like a 2-inch lens. If they used a RF laser, it's going to have a narrower kerf, but perform better. Are you still there? You're not
Yeah.
moving.
No, I'm up here.
Just-
He stuck an
Okay.
inflatable in there on us.
Zoom.
All right. So an RF laser tube is a certain type of, the way that laser beam is generated. And generally the RF laser has a narrower beam and therefore a narrower slot or kerf that's cut. Being that the kerf is only 12 thousandths of an inch, I mean, that's not super great, really. There's some of them that when we cut the stuff, the kerf is damn near zero, front and back. Especially on the back, it gets really, really narrow. But for it to be 8 thousandths of an inch on the front and back, it's not a big deal. I could show you guys some stuff that like looks really, really, thin and impressive.
Well, it'd have to be able to impress me because this was able to impress me. So if you're doing better work than this, you got it.
Oh, hey, it's my profession. Let me go grab something that looks really cool. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So Leroy, you're on there twice now.
Yes, I'm on there twice because I am also on the other computer.
Because he's twice as important.
It's a little annoying, actually.
That's
Any-
what we thought.
you guys want to see some of my junk? If I can
Well,
do this.
Could you define that a little bit more narrowly?
Yeah, some of my M5 stack junk.
Okay.
Oh, Vicente's got some junk too. What's good?
He's got blinking lights.
This
He's
is
got-
the
He's got blinking lights.
this is the
He's
black
got
pill.
blinking lights. What you got, Vicente?
Back to the basic. Blinking alert. This is the black pill. It's a STM32.
Yeah.
But I have Python, MicroPython in this board. I'm just playing with it.
So what's the board?
It's called a black pill. There are plenty of clones of it. It costs like $4 from China. And you can use Arduino with it, or MicroPython, or C, whatever. I am trying MicroPython in this one.
Ray, is this what you wanted me to do for Doug?
Ray's back. Looks
Ray's
like
got
Ray.
his cool glasses on. Yeah. Joe Cool.
You like my cool glasses?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm ready.
So my cool glasses are, they're actually a flat piece of wood, and you cut these slits in it, and it allows the wood to flex. So depending on how the slits are done here,
Okay.
and they're done so close that really the wood wood ends up being flexible. And these are one of my favorite get-ups. So I got this, and then I'm going to show you a couple other ones. So here's another set of this pattern that goes across here, and got a little lock that holds this thing closed. And then that's a straight flat piece of wood, very hard. But once you cut these little bitty slits into it, you can actually see right through the slits, sort of. And but they are so fine that let's see if I can get that in there looking good.
Yeah, I can see through.
Those slits are so fine.
We can see through.
And we can hold such a tight tolerance that you know, all this stuff that just really slips together really tight. We did good calculations for making sure that it wraps around here and then it goes back into the lock. And then this is actually our little lock. It's a spring-loaded piece of wood, goes into a little tab and goes across there, and that keeps that keeps it locked on there. I have, this is my my Seahorse, and the Seahorse is actually just laser cut. We slide the ribs on, and it all fits together. You dunk it in a little bit of water, you know, just like Seahorses are, and the wood expands a tiny amount, and it causes the whole Seahorse to lock together. So there's no glue required at all for the Seahorse. And as far as tight tolerances, here's my my shutter doors, so that you can see how the shutter doors move. Okay. And the cool thing about the shutter doors is that the hinge is actually just a flexible piece of wood that's got that slit lasered into it. And like I'm saying, you know, those little slits are really, really, really tiny. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Mhm.
So is that plywood, laminated plywood?
The door is not laminated, and these slits are not laminated. They're just awesome. Back over to here, this is a 3-ply craft plywood, and this also is a 3-ply craft plywood. But these are only, gosh, they're less than 1/8 of an inch thick. As you start needing to cut through, you know, 1/4 of an inch wood, you got to use more power, which causes it to have a thicker kerf. You know, being able to cut through 1/4 of an inch wood and have nearly zero kerf means that the laser beam has to be really, really narrow. My laser machines, they range anywhere from, like, Carol was just showing me a quote for $5,800 for a 60-watt small machine. You know, it's 24 by 16 inches as the workspace. A 40-watt, 24 by 16 workspace, almost $6,000. We go up to an $18,000 machine, but our flagship really is closer to 60-watt, 24 by 36. You know, the next step above that is, you know, 36 inches by 48 inches wide, 50 inches wide.
This size pass across standard doors in the houses?
Okay, so that's a big problem for people, is that, you know, you don't have a 5-foot wide front door, and you don't have a, you know, a 6-foot wide hallway.
And the basement is
right in the basement. You know, it's really heavy to carry such a big piece of equipment downstairs.
okay.
So what we do is we work with our factories to make sure that these laser machines can come apart. So effectively what we do is, you know, you got the top part of the machine and the bottom part of the machine, take them apart, go through the doorways, then you put them back together.
Nice.
And, you know, so the machine is designed to, that, you know, when you take these pieces apart, they're only 28 or 30 inches wide, which means that they can go into a narrow doorway. And then if you take the laser machine, and not just sitting like this, but you take the laser machine, you know, on its bottom, and you can roll it down the hallway, and you can turn it to go into a doorway.
Exactly.
Because, you know, it's like this isn't the first machine we've ever done. And, you know, obviously people want them in their homes, but they want to put it into a spare bedroom or a den or something like that. And not everybody's got a nice big garage that's heated, and nobody wants to go work out in a cold garage. And you don't want to put your laser machine in a cold garage, because for us, our laser source is glass. You know, that's a big glass light bulb. And if you guys ever want to see a tour of my company, you're welcome to come visit. Right, Art?
I know where that is.
So speaking of visits and tours, I talked to Libra Industries, the robot company, again today. One of their guys actually came to visit us today, Doug. And Doug is wanting some laser work done. And so we're going to go ahead and do it for him, and he can pay his little donation, and it's nice. But they're interested in buying a laser, and I keep telling Doug, I was like, I'll do this for free if you bring my whole robot club down there, the automation club, so that we can all go for a tour. And so he proposed that to the other guys at the company. And what they're going to do is they're going to do an open house. And for their open house, they're going to have a whole bunch of robots ready. So they're not just going to have one big one for us. They're going to have a whole bunch of robots available for this open house, because they figure, hey, if we're interested in coming by and looking, that there are probably going to be more people interested to come visit. But we're going to get special treatment.
Cool.
It doesn't mean that we get to drive the robot, but it does mean that we'll get to hang around longer and we'll get to request certain demonstrations. So, sound good?
Great.
Right.
Sounds good. Great.
Okay, enough of the glasses, right?
Well, I had a question about your louvered doors there. Were each individual louver cut so if you tipped it up that we could see through them?
Check this out. These louvers actually move. So let's see if I can get this. So you can actually change the direction of the louvers.
Yeah.
So that
Wow.
you can see from one room to the other. This was made by a company that does miniature dollhouses. So all this, like the doors, are for a dollhouse. Like it's a scale model. So I asked them to give me something they were proud of, and they're like,
That's
"Yeah,
gonna be
this is
an
it."
expensive dollhouse.
Oh yeah, the stuff that he makes for the dollhouses is crazy. But he makes all kinds of this scale furniture, windows, window treatments, doors, chairs, benches, an entire dining room set. You know, it's all lasered, you know, artsy craft type looking stuff. It's really neat. He sent us some Christmas tree stuff, you know, scaled Christmas tree.
I could just visualize myself trying to assemble each of those little slats into the hole. I could get the,
Oh yeah, it's got to be
I
hell.
could get the bottom ones done, but trying to get the top pieces on, and I'm nearly there, and I sneeze.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yep, can do it. I got enough static electricity over here. Stuff just sticks to me. And there's glue everywhere. And then there'd be a videotape, and I'd get in trouble. So.
Well, I can't imagine if you cut those out of something that had a static charge on them.
Well, the laser tube itself creates a static charge, so you have to make sure everything's grounded. So gotta be careful. It is like 20. Well, an 80-watt laser tube runs at about 22,000 volts DC when it's full on cutting. Yeah, like I said, I'd be happy to give you a tour sometime if you're interested to come by.
You better have a good ground for the machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
In 5 stacks time?
Go,
Yeah,
No. Yes.
yes.
zero,
Yes.
zero. Come on.
Okay. Cool. This is gonna work, maybe. Hello.
Hello.
Can you guys see me?
No,
There I am.
Mhm.
That's a QR code reader
Okay.
with a little atom
Mhm.
on it, and I got a little. It'll read barcodes as well. And if I pop back over here to this other computer, and I go, because of course, everything's plugged into this other computer. Um, this is.
You spelled QR wrong.
I did spell QR wrong. So the Pepsi can says 012013013. So I could just scan it. I don't know if you heard it click, but it should have showed up down there.
Just texted me literally just now. I was already going out the door, but he was just texting me.
Mm,
Oh yeah.
Should have showed up down there.
There it is.
Yeah.
There we go.
okay.
So
Maybe missed one there.
yeah, probably
Halfway up the 012013333.
3333. I don't know. I really don't know why I bought this. Honestly, it just seemed like a fun thing to have.
You can make your own supermarket.
So I can make my own supermarket.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to market a lot to businesses already. So that may have been something that they thought would be a good thing for a business.
I have a customer that puts a QR code on his circuit boards so
Yeah.
that it gets automatically recognized in another machine, and they have that QR code related to a certain set of firmware that needs to go into that circuit board.
Yeah.
That way,
So-
when it gets scanned, that everything is all kosher.
So how big is the QR code, Ray?
It's about 3/8 of an inch by 3/8 of an inch on the circuit
Really?
board.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't exactly have a whole lot of available space on circuit boards.
I think that's what partially what this QR code reader was probably for. They probably used them at their factory or something and saw other people needed them or wanted them.
Okay. Yeah. Can you read postal barcodes?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
Okay.
I tried the UPC codes and I tried QR codes and I tried something else and it didn't read it. It was one of those weird. It's not a QR code, but it's a product code, and it didn't want to read it. It's another one of those 3D codes.
Hey, in that postal barcode you got there,
Yes.
it looks like is there a top section, a middle section, and a bottom section. The middle section, is that equally spaced dashes?
Everything appears to be equally spaced. There's some distortion because of the camera.
Uh-huh.
Um,
It's like the,
This is
I guess what I'm
actually-
asking is the middle section, is that a standard, like
this synchronism or
a synchronizing
synchronized
dash?
reading. Yeah.
I compared this to postal
Kinda like data and
barcodes
clock.
that you can generate out of Word to go on envelopes and stuff, and they appear to be different. There's no uniformity between the two of them. Let's see here.
Yeah.
My Spectrum cable bill. It's got a barcode on it.
We're gonna find out how much you pay for your bill.
Yeah.
I don't think that that has the same internal codes on it.
Yeah,
This,
it looks like the center line is a clock, like a synchronizing clock. And then you've got an upper section for data and a lower section for data. If you were to compare that to
Zeros and ones. Up is
Yeah.
a 0 and down is a 1. or
no, I wouldn't go for up and down. I would go for the center line is the synchronizing like a clock.
something.
Then above it, you're going to either have on or off. So that's a row of data. And below it, you're going to have ons and offs. So that would be another row of data. If you count for 8 bits, it's probably got 4 bytes on top and 4 bytes on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
32 dots. How many dots does it have? Straight across the center.
You see this? You see this little barcode right here?
Yep.
This little one. That it won't read it. That reader won't read this little tiny barcode, but it reads the UPC code. So I don't know what this one is.
There are a lot of
When you're looking at
standards.
barcodes, there's probably
There's
30
dozens
kinds? 30 kinds of barcodes?
at least.
Yeah.
And you would have to tell it, is it a code 29, which is probably one of the most common types?
There's at least dozens of barcodes.
Well, the way I count this, and I could be wrong, I counted 57 vertical stripes.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think it'll read that.
I'm trying to read your barcode.
Okay. I'm thinking that the reflectivity off the screen is probably not desirable.
Maybe not.
I got a GPS. Same sort of deal. It's got a little SD card in it, so I could do some GPS logging with that. It works really well. I already plugged it in. You saw it showed where my thing was. I got this weird little rover. It's another one of those Mecum wheel things, only they've added the ability to actually control a servo from it. So
It can
here we
pick
go.
big stuff like
And it
cubes
can
or-
pick up stuff. The claw,
Uh-huh.
that is 3D printed. And it's coated with something. Yep. That is 3D printed though.
Put some
So
spray
what is
rubber on
it?
it.
Anti-slip coating?
I don't know what it is. It's something to protect it probably. Not protect it from slipping, just to protect it from breaking apart.
Oh,
I got 4 of those. That's the M5 Stick C. And I've used those in a bunch of projects, so I just bought more. Because why not? And I picked up 3 more of these that are the bigger, the M5 Stick C Plus. They're a little bit bigger. They're actually the same physical size.
Where are you buying those?
DigiKey is where I got this order from.
Okay.
So the Plus and the Stick C are physically the same size, but the Plus has a better
Size.
screen in it.
Uh-huh.
And it's got a speaker in it too, I
It
think,
has battery or no?
and a battery. Yeah. So I picked that. That's the stuff I picked up. I got a M5 Go kit, which I really haven't messed with yet. It's got a speaker in it and some other fun stuff that the standard M5 stack doesn't have in it.
7 plus.
And yeah, and I've got a self-balancing little robot, Dealy Bob, because the Stick C has a gyroscope in it,
Okay.
Wow.
so
Crater.
so it does itself. It doesn't really need much. There's I can't take that off. There is a microcontroller back here and a driver for the motors.
Hey Joe,
But
let's see your barcode again.
I think the microcontroller that's on there is just to drive the motors. And that's really all I got.
So what controls the gyro?
The gyro is built into
Inside.
the Stick C.
So it's powerful enough to keep that whole apparatus upright?
Yep. Yeah, it's an ESP32. It's this is the let's see. Oh, turn it on. So that's the Stick, the Plus, and this is the Gyroscope Demo that's already built into it. You can see the cube turning when I turn it.
It's not physically a gyroscope, though. It's electronic, correct?
Yeah.
Electronic, yeah.
Accelerometer.
I was going to say,
So you don't have a spinning wheel in there at all. It's
No.
strictly a set of controls that control the wheels that keep it upright.
Okay, they call it a gyroscope. It's not a spinny gyroscope.
I don't know that spinning gyroscope in my phone just wants to rip it out of my hand when I balance it on the edge.
They actually are making something that probably I saw a preview of it on Twitter. It's probably as close to a gyroscope as they're going to get. It's a like a two wheels that are spinning, and it'll bounce itself up onto a point in the cube, and it'll maintain that point. It's actually kind of cool. I'll see if I can find the link to it. I was going to try to find out what a postal barcode is, too. Barcode is a 65 barcode used on the mail. Postnet.
Well, there is
It's its own thing, yeah.
you can insert a code in a Word document, and it will generate a postal barcode for you on an envelope.
It is the zip code +4. Oh, no.
That's what you have to put in to the data field for the code for it to generate the barcode. But the barcode
Yeah,
holding
yeah.
up earlier doesn't match that at all.
It's its own deal. They've done whatever. You know, it's the post office. I know we're running low on time again. I'll see if I can find this. There it is. I'll put a link to this thing in the chat, and I have a feeling that M5 will eventually market this thing.
Hmm?
I don't know if you noticed, but it was laying on a side, and then once it calibrated itself, it popped up onto that point right there in the middle.
So it actually has two perpendicular spinning wheels to.
Balance and counterbalance.
Hmm.
There's a lot of videos that a Japanese guy that I follow on Twitter, he made one using an M5 stack, and M5 stack obviously has picked up what he was doing and made their own. So it was it's a really cool thing. The guy that actually made it, he had it jumping and doing all kinds of stuff. I mean, really cool stuff.
The little robot jumping on top of there?
No, not the robot. He had that gyroscopic wheel thing, like hopping down his workbench. Yeah. So, M5 Stacks is a cool company. They're a little on the expensive side, but they're a cool company and they got a lot of cool stuff. You look like you want to say something, Ray.
No, I'm over there watching Joe. He's got that big grin on his face.
Torturing you with our silent. Nice stuff. How is going the hero robot? The main stuff.
I haven't really messed with Hero in a little while. I want to get back to it though. It's on my list. You know, the more time I'm sitting at home, the more I want to do other stuff. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, there was a deal on last fall where it says you have two choices. You can either stay at home with the family in quarantine. The guy says, B, whatever B is.
Plan B, whatever Plan B is.
When we will meet again in the library, we don't know.
Don't know.
I will have my vaccination on Saturday. I'm in the list.
Do we have any schedule for when we're going to be back to the library?
They are open? No.
We got about 30 seconds, but the last email I got from the library, they were still closed. They were just doing online virtual stuff. So I'll see everybody next week.
You know what I would do
Take
if
care.
that's what was going to happen? Let me tell you.
Yeah, all